Hello again. This is El Jefe Barbudo. This is another episode of Cuban-isms Explained. I wanted to take a few minutes and show you guys how to make a colada, a Cuban coffee. So here we go. So right now on the stove, I've got my café pilón, sabroso hasta el último buchito, which means delicious until the very last sip. It is a Cuban coffee blend. It's very popular. Café Bustelo is also very popular. I prefer Pilon. We've got our Cuban coffee maker. I've already filled the water up to this little metal steam valve. So you can see that there on the inside. It's got the water in it. First step is to take our coffee screen and we're going to put it in there. Okay, so water in the bottom, coffee screen. I'm going to grab my spoon here, and we're going to spoon in some Cuban coffee. So, roughly, what you're looking for here is probably about, 7 teaspoons or so. It's typically about a teaspoon per espresso shot, if you want to call it espresso. Now, technically this isn't espresso because we don't get the full, I think it's 9 bars of pressure that you would get in an espresso machine. You only get a couple of bars. But this Cuban coffee blend is very strong, and it makes up for the fact that you're not getting quite the pressure that you would normally get in a espresso machine. So I'm going to spin this on, get it on there nice and tight. I'm going to give it a little turn. There you go. So it's now nice and tight. This is a Bialetti coffee maker. It's an Italian coffee maker. Bialetti, in fact, invented these machines back in the early 1900s. I got this one at Bed Bath & Beyond for about, I think it was about $30. So not very expensive. Allows you to make your own coffee at home. No more trips to Starbucks for their wonderful crappa frappuccinos. You can pretty much make anything you'd get at a Starbucks at home if you're willing to get all the little flavorings and such. But we're going to start with a colada. I've turned the stove on high. We're going to wait until the coffee starts to bubble out of here. Once we start to bubble, we're actually going to add just a couple of drops into this little espresso cup with about 2.5 to 3 teaspoons of sugar. We're going to make a little paste, and once we've made that paste with the first few drops of coffee, we're going to pour the rest in. That gives it a nice little caramel sweet flavor. So at this point, we're just waiting for the coffee to start bubbling. It's going to take probably 4 to 5 minutes to get that process going. You can pick up Pilon on Amazon. That's where I get mine. Local grocery stores, depending on where you live, might have Café Bustelo. Like I said, they're both good. You might also want to try to look at La Llave. La Llave is pretty excellent coffee. I have to tell you that my personal favorite being Pilon, I go out of my way to get it. I'm willing to pay a little more. But like I said, La Llave or Bustelo are just as good. Just slightly different flavors. Pilon is probably the strongest of them all. So I'll come back once this coffee's made, and I'll show you how to put it in the cup and make your little paste and enjoy a shot of a colada. Thanks.